Hello friend, today we are going to learn cyclic coordinate and conservation theorem. According to the definition of the cyclic coordinate, Qj is one that does not appear explicitly in the Lagrangian by virtue of the Lagrangian equation in conjugated momentum Pj is then a constant, means Pj is constant. Then the equation hold by Pj dot is equal to del L upon del Qj is equal to minus del H upon del Qj. A coordinate that is cyclic will thus also be absent from the Hamiltonian. Conversely, if the generalized coordinate does not occur in H, the conjugate momentum is conserved. The momentum conservation theorem can be thus transferred to Hamiltonian formulation with no more than a substitution of H from L. In particular, the connection between invariance or symmetry property of the physical system and constant of the motion can also be derived in terms of Hamiltonian equation. For example, if the system is completely self-contained with only internal force between the particles, then the system can be moved as a rigid ensemble without affecting the force or motion. The system is said to be invariant under a rigid displacement. Hence, a generalized coordinate describing such a rigid motion will not appear explicitly in the Hamiltonian, and the corresponding conjugate momentum will be conserved. If the rigid motion is a translation along some particular direction, then conservation momentum is the corresponding Cartesian component of the total linear momentum of the system. Since the direction is arbitrarily, the total vector linear momentum is conserved. The rigid displacement may be rotational, from whence it follows that the total angular momentum vector is conserved even if the system interact with external force. There may be a symmetry in the situation that lead to a conserved canonical momentum. Suppose the system is symmetrical about the given axis so that H is invariant under rotation about that axis. Then H obviously cannot involve the rotation angle about the axis, and particular angle variable must be cyclic coordinate. It follows that the component of angular momentum about the axis is conserved. The consideration concurrent H in has already shown that if L is not an explicit function of t, then H is constant of motion. If H is not an explicit function of t, then H is constant motion, and this can be seen directly from the equation of motion by writing the total time derivative of Hamiltonian as dH upon dt is equal to del H upon del Qi into Qi dot plus del H upon del Pi dot plus del H upon del T. In consequence of the equation of motion, the first two sum on the right hand side cancel each other. If therefore it follows that, means these two terms are cancelled, then it follows that dH upon dt is equal to del H upon del T is equal to minus del L upon del T. and thus if T does not appear explicitly in L, it will also not be present in H, and H will be constant in time. Further, it was proved that if the equation of transformation that define the generalized coordinate, that generalized coordinate is Rm is equal to Rm Q1 Q2 up to Qn T does not depend explicitly upon the time, and if the potential is a velocity independent, then H is the total energy, and total energy is equal to T plus V. The identification of H as a constant of the motion and total energy are to separate the matter, and the conditions sufficient for one are not enough for the other. It can be happen that the parametric equation of general coordinate do involves the time explicitly, but that H does not. In this case, H is constant of the motion, but it is not the total energy. Yes, we also show that the Hamiltonian is dependent both in magnitude and the function and in the functional form upon the initial choice of generalized coordinate. For the Lagrangians, we have specified prescription is L is equal to T minus V, and a change of generalized coordinate within that prescription may change the functional appearance of L but cannot alter its magnitude. On the other hand, use of different set of generalized coordinate in the definition for the Hamiltonian equation may lead to entirely different quantity for Hamiltonian. It may be that for one set of generalized coordinate H is conserved, but that of the another is varies in time. Then we see the diagram. That is two axes. Here the velocity v0 at time t, and spring is attached here, and displacement is given by x dash, and mass of spring is m. To illustrate some of this point in the simple example, we may consider a somewhat artificial one-dimensional system. This is the one-dimensional system. Suppose a point mass m is attached to the spring. Here mass is m is attached to the spring of a force constant k. On the other hand, which is fixed, here this is the other end, which is fixed on a massless cart that is being moved uniformly by an external device with the speed v0. And if we take the generalized coordinate, the position x of mass particle in the stationary system, then Lagrangian of the system is obviously is given by L of x dot t is equal to T minus V is equal to m x dot square upon 2 minus k by 2 x minus v0 of t whole square. The corresponding equation of motion is clearly is given by m x double dot is equal to minus k into bracket x minus v0 of t. As obvious way of solving this equation uh, is to change the unknown to x dash of t, defined as x dash is equal to x minus v0 t, and noting that x double dot dash is equal to x double dot, the equation of motion becomes m x double dot dash is equal to minus k x dash, and from this equation x dash, this x dash is the displacement of particle relative to the cart, and we observed that on the cart the particle exhibit the simple harmonic motion as would be expected on a principle of equivalence in Galilean relativity. Having looked at the nature of the motion, let us consider the Hamiltonian formulation. Since x is the Cartesian coordinate of the particle and the potential does not involve generalized velocity, the Hamiltonian relative to x is the sum of the kinetic and potential energy, that is the total energy, and in the functional form the Hamiltonian is given by h of x p t is equal to t plus v and is equal to p square upon 2m plus k by 2 into bracket x minus v0 t bracket square, and the Hamiltonian is the total energy of the system, but since it is explicitly a function of time and it is not conserved physically, this is the understandable energy must flow into and out of the external physical device to keep the cart moving uniformly against the reaction of the oscillating particle. Suppose now we formulate the Lagrangian form the start in term of the relative coordinate x dash, the same Lagranges as L of x dash x dot dash is equal to m x dot dash square upon 2 plus m x dot dash v0 plus m v0 square upon 2 minus kx dash square upon 2. In the setting of the corresponding Hamiltonian, we note that there is now a term linear in x dot dash with the single component of a being m v0. The new Hamiltonian is given as h dash, that h dash is represent the new Hamiltonian. X dash p dash is equal to p dash m v0 whole square upon 2m plus kx dash square upon 2 minus m v0 square upon 2. Note that the last term is a constant involving neither x dash nor p dash. It could be, if we wish, be dropped from h without affecting the resultant equation of motion. Now h dash is not total energy of the system, but it is conserved. Except for the last term, it can be easily identified as total energy of motion of the particle relative to moving cart. The two Hamiltonian are different in magnitude, time dependence, and functional behavior, but the reader can easily verify that both lead to the same motion of the particle. additional insight into the problem of the masses card previously discussed can be gained by considering a dumbbell of two masses connected by spring of constant K. We shall consider the case where center of mass of dumbbell is in constant motion at the speed v0 along the direction determined by spring, and allow the oscillation of masses only along this direction. This can be shown. The figure is drawn. These two masses m1 and m2. These two masses are attached by a spring. Here m1 and this is attached to m2, and centimeter and K. This is figure A and figure B, and velocity is v0. Again m1 attached to the spring mass m2 and potential K and centimeter, and second is this is small and this is large. The dumbbell is made to vibrate while its center of mass has an initial velocity v0, and it will continue with this velocity with the uniform translation motion. This translation motion will have no effect on oscillation. The motion of the center of mass and motion relative to the center of mass separate as they do in a Kepler problem, and once the motion is started, energy is conserved, and the Hamiltonian is the total conserved energy. The situation is different if the mass m2 move at constant speed v0, since the periodic force is applied. The center of mass and mass m1 then oscillate relative to m2, since the changing external force must be applied to the system to keep m2 at a constant velocity v0, and the Hamiltonian is no longer conserved, nor is the Hamiltonian the total energy. Thank you.